Hey friends and family, thanks for tuning in to tonight's Thursday Night Thought. And tonight's thought comes to you from Arizona, where my family and I just got off the plane, and it's a real just casual Thursday night with a really powerful message. So each week I share messages and the strategies for how to apply them to our lives, and each week has a theme. And the theme this week is it's discover the real you, is the way the message came in. But the message changed halfway through the week, or the theme, I would say, changed halfway through the week. And it became, what do you need to let go of in 2017 in order to embrace the fullness of you? And this is really, I'm going to explain how this message came in a little bit and the visions that came in, and then I'm going to share some things with you. And I'll be honest, this is this has a lot of emotion that may come up tonight. So perhaps if you've been thinking about it this week, or if anything's been brought to your attention of something that you need to let go of in 2017 in order to embrace the fullness of you, you can bring that in tonight to the message. And the message this week is this: your identity is not defined by worldly status, but by the fullness of you that you bring into the world. Therefore, it is time to reconnect with the beautiful qualities you have repressed or ignored. And as your true nature re-emerges, you will discover a new way to look at life. And in turn, you will blossom into greater success and feel a sense of the fulfillment, your true you. So when I received this message, at first I thought it was almost a reprimand from life. It was like you're holding on to worldly status too much. There's something you're attaching to your identity to that is causing pain. And if you were just to let go of that and reconnect with something else, then perhaps this real identity would emerge, this fullness of who I am. But it was funny because it says these beautiful qualities that you've repressed or ignored. So how do you discover beautiful qualities that have been repressed or ignored without knowing what those are, with discovering what those are? So I thought that was a funny part of the message. But then again, this message is bringing in the awareness that there's something that has been repressed or ignored and is a part of the fullness. So the beauty of the message is that once we really tap into this fullness by letting go, then it's true success. Because it doesn't matter what success we achieve in this world, or what we deem as success, or what our label is of success, unless we're bringing in that fullness of who we are, our greater gifts and talents, who we really are in spirit, then there's not going to be a fulfillment to that. And so success and fulfillment go together. And that's something that, again, this message brought up a lot of hope with, which is there's a new way to look at life, that you'll blossom into even greater success by filling the fulfillment of tapping into this fullness of who you are. So it was like success is beautiful and it comes with that fullness. So I thought that was a super beautiful part of the message. So the first thing that came in with this message is I had this vision. I actually had a dream. It was this dream of I was standing in a crowd and I was speaking, and there was this woman who was trying to get my attention. And I noticed her, but I didn't really pay much attention to her because I was so focused on what was going on around me, and I got lost in the crowd. And during this experience, the woman kind of slipped off into the back of the crowd, and it's almost as if she became lost and I didn't see her anymore. Yet there was this part of me in the dream that knew that she held secrets or gifts or these beautiful qualities that somehow I had repressed. And I knew that in order to find her again or to see her again, there was something was going to have to happen. I was going to have to either leave the crowd, I was going to have to stop what I was doing. But how would I even know what she looks like? Like at that point, I had kind of lost awareness of what she even looked like. She was ignored, she was repressed, right? So I realized in this dream how caught up I was in this worldly status that I had forgotten actually about her. So what do you have to do in that experience when you know that this person had so much to offer me, and that the crowd was super meaningless, and that if I didn't receive her gifts and her knowledge and her talents, that I could possibly miss that fulfillment? That's what I was feeling in this dream, and how caught up I was. So I realized I would have to know her name, first of all, to be able to find her. I'd have to remember what she looked like. I'd have to have some understanding of who she was. In order to get her attention again. And I'd have to be humble in order to receive what it is that she wanted to share with me, because I had shunned her, I'd ignored her, I'd repressed her in some way. So that was the vision that came in, and it woke me up, and it was like, what is it in my life that I'm attaching to? And then I happened to go to a luncheon with a friend on Wednesday, and I was sharing, some of you know that this is a big year for my family and I, as we're going to be making some big changes and moves in our life. And what was brought up for me is that I've had this dream of moving to California. It's been a dream that I've posted on Facebook, that I have shared with everybody I have possibly come into contact with. And it's really kept me motivated. It's something that has always been this bigger dream, and perhaps it really is a measurement of success in some way. And now that we're facing this move and we're looking at different places, California really isn't in the cards right now. It's not something that we can afford. It's not a reality right now as I had hoped that it would be. So when you have something that's such a strong dream, and it's been a part of you for so long, and it's motivated you on every level, how do you let go of something like that? Because I would talk to people and I would feel the authenticity in my heart when I would say, yeah, we're moving, and yeah, we found this great house. But inside I'd have this almost not authentic love for where it is we're moving, or not this authentic love for what the next step is in life, because I had to let go. And in some ways I was even hoping and praying that California would still work out, that I could shift things around, and that we could plan and move things off to later, and this dream would still become a reality. And then it's like something clicked, and I realized that the vision and the dream that I had had, and this conversation that I was having with this this friend and being very authentic, I said, man, it just really sucks because this is something that I've really wanted. And I've got to let go. And she reminded me of some really important key points to this. And she said, perhaps California was creating a box for you. In other words, it's holding you back from being the real you. Because if you think about it, if you're moving somewhere new where you've never been before and you don't have any friends and you don't have any history and you don't have anything to compare it to, then really it's a blank slate. It's an opportunity to create and become in this fullness of who you are. And I thought, well, that's beautiful and that's probably true. And yeah, you're right. If we're holding on to anything, then it can hinder us from really accepting the fullness of whatever opportunities are in front of us. And then she mentioned, and also you were a different person back then when you had that dream, and that dream has served you. That has served you in creating the life that you have now and moving forward. And there's nothing wrong with letting go, but I couldn't let go. I just can't make myself let go. Surrender is probably one of the most difficult things that we embrace as humans. And it's not something that we can force. So it's just being honest in whatever that is. And for me, it's letting go of that. So it was interesting having this conversation with her, and she talked about a couple other different things, and how in letting go, it's inviting in more possibility into our life, and that God is the source of all possibility. And in this example, it really made me think about ego. It made me think about the social status, the part of this message about whatever it is that I was holding on to. And I don't believe the ego is, pulling up in the Lamborghini and saying, hey, look at me, showing up in California in my $1 million home and saying, look, I arrived, I'm here, I made it. It is actually, I believe, declaring that God isn't with me in the struggle of letting go. It's me saying that this struggle is me, that I have to take care of it, that I have to let go, that it has to be something that comes from me. And in that, I believe there's ego. Because I believe that they say ego is edging God out. And that's edging out the source of all possibility. In fact, I believe when we allow God into our struggle, when we allow God into that process of surrender, when we allow God into that process of letting go, that we are the ones creating our reality of not being able to let go. And that's exactly what was happening in this situation and in this dream and in this reality of it not feeling so good. But what it brought up for me is it brought up a poem that I wrote a long time ago. And this poem is about letting go of someone you love. And so I'm going to share the poem, and I want to go back to the emotion of what that poem brought up and what it may bring up for you. And in this experience, I'm going to try and find it here real quick on my computer. in this experience, give me a second here. It's about the pain. And it's called The Wild Side of Love. So I just want to take a moment and I want to go back to that, because there is a part of me that has repressed my own gifts and talents in poetry. Poetry is something that's a part of my soul. And I'm not quite sure why this poem was brought back in my life and into my awareness with this message this week, but I want to share it for anybody who is struggling letting go, because I don't have the answer this week, but I'm hoping that this will open up to that fullness within me and within you, and applying it to our lives. So give me just a second to go back to that moment when I wrote it. Okay. My soul is hungry for you. Where did you go? Why did you leave? Was it for my edification? Was it some life lesson? Yet this pain and longing breeds only separation. Obviously, I have not learned the lesson, for my desire for you is still stronger than the acceptance of your absence. Today I saw a flicker of you and I and the other mortals, their hands, their lips providing a glimpse of what used to be our fire. Each day a game of hide and seek. Mostly I seek and you hide. And then I try to forget. And there you are. I look harder, and there you go, deeper into the shadows. How long shall we continue this game? Obviously, I have not passed this test, or else we would be together, or you would be absent of my memories so that I may move on. Yet the fragrance of your promise lingers, that I shall never be apart from you. Could this mean that you are here in the pain? Are you present in my longing for you? Perhaps my acceptance of this fierce emotion is you. I speculate, I soften, and I smile. For it is true that in feeling this agony without you, there is immense passion, a desire that burns within me, much like the transmutive fire of our lost love. Could it still be alive, disguised by a different name? I close my eyes I soften, and I smile, thus shattering my illusions of what love is. And I embrace our eternal passion in the name of pain, the wild side of love. And thus there is no separation. It's a beautiful poem. It's a beautiful message. And I encourage you to go deeper into this message for yourself as I go deeper into this message for myself. And I feel that fullness coming in, and I feel your love right now. And together as humans, as we experience this together of this letting go and surrender, I pray that love is a part of that experience. And in that, there is no separation. So, thank you for tuning in tonight. Thank you for allowing me to share and be authentic in this sharing and transmission. And I see your comments here. I see so many of you tuned in. And more than anything, I feel your love, and I promise to look at these and respond and comment after my family goes down tonight. So I'm wishing you a beautiful rest of your week of discovery, because the week's not over yet. Thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to our next Thursday night thought together.